Alright, goal for today is to clean this up and make a couple new ones for field install. Those that have done this before will recognize this as a staged cable for a device that either had poor documentation or, in this one here, no documentation. So a lot of trial and error to try to figure out which one works. So to duplicate it, we're going to take a brand new serial cable. They have both a female and a male end. We'll match it to the cable that worked, which is female, so we'll cut this end on off. This is a bold strategy to cut it right at the end, because that means that molded cable is no longer useful. To strip off the outer housing, I'm using the actual tool. That stopper's set so that when it cuts off, it'll leave the shielding uncut. I'm lying a little bit here because normally what I would use is a set of cable cutters and score the outside and bend it so it breaks off, but this will look cleaner for the camera. Now, this is my first hands video like this. I can't believe it's so difficult to do one of these videos with a camera between your head and your hands. I'll fast forward a little bit here, but I'm pretty stoked how I just kept it in frame, even if going slow as hell. You'll note that I didn't video making up the second cable. Separating out the individual components, I'm going to take the ones we don't need and cut them a little shorter. I'm not cutting them flush with the end of the cable so they don't accidentally short themselves out on the shield there. So what I'll do instead is bend them back and space them out just a little bit, and then add a little bit of heat shrink here to give them a little mechanical stability, but also to hold them in place so that they don't short out as well. It's important to remember to put the heat shrink on before putting on the head, the connector. I would also recommend doing it before stripping your individual conductors. Otherwise, you'll end up with a flying wire mess, especially for these little guys. I'm using a wire stripper. They're kind of nice. They hold on to the wire as they strip, so it's not tugging on the rest of the items in the cable bundle here. Off screen, I had taken a picture of the cable you see down there below to make sure I have the orientation right. It's always a bummer when you don't know which way is up when you're putting these together. One item to note here is that I'm not twisting the wires before landing them on in. I'm straightening them out so that once they're into the gate, then they tighten them up. They fan out and giving you the most contact as you can. If you twist them, the wires will cross over it, and if you don't torque it down far enough, you'll actually reduce the contact between the gate there and the wires where they cross. So you get a better connection when they're flat and straight and parallel. And heat shrink isn't always just for insulation. In this case here, it makes it look a little nicer, but it also gives a little bit of mechanical strain relief for how this is going in. Stuff amazes me how it works, but it's just going to hold everything tight, everything where it needs to be, and no one wire was going to hold all of that strain. But there you go. It's all set up. Looks the same as the other one that we used in a developed system. Much better.